Right. Yes, I'll Marry You by Pam Ayres. I think there's something in this for everyone, just everyone that's married out there, just listen hard. Yes, I'll marry you, my dear, and here's the reason why. So I can push you out of bed when the baby starts to cry. And if we hear a knocking and it's creepy and it's late, I hand you the torch, you see, and you investigate. Yes, I'll marry you, my dear. You may not apprehend it, but when the tumble dryer goes, it's you that has to mend it. You have to face the neighbour, should our, it says Labrador, but I'm going to substitute Weimaraner, attack him, and if a drunken fondles me, it's you that has to whack him. Yes, I'll marry you. You're virile and you're lean. My house is like a pigsty. You can help to keep it clean. That's not working, is it? Served by candlelight, as I do chipolatas. You can cook it every night. It's you who has to work the drill and put up curtain track. And when I'm in a mood, it's you who gets the flack. I do see great advantages, but none of them for you. And so before you see the light, I do.
Hi everyone. For the romantics in the audience of you, I'm going to read Annie's song by John Denver. So just a little somber moment, no tears. Anybody starts, I might too. You fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again. Come let me love you, let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter, let me die in your arms. Let me lay down beside you, let me always be with you. Come let me love you, come love me again.
Thank you, Annabelle and Melanie. Peter, on this day will you take Imogen to be your lawful wedded wife, to live to support her in every way and to be joined in matrimony? Will you show love, forgiveness, compassion, and cherish her from this day forward as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Imogen, on this day will you take Peter to be your lawful wedded husband, to live to support him in every way and to be joined in matrimony? Will you show love, forgiveness, compassion, and cherish him from this day forward as long as you both shall live? Imogen Estelle Miller and Peter John Doran Self, before you are joined in marriage in my presence and in the presence of these witnesses, I'm to remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship in which you now are about to enter. Marriage, according to law in Australia, is the union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of all others voluntarily entered into for life. Imogen and Peter will now exchange vows to express their faithfulness and devotion to each other.
We haven't finished this, so time to leave.
Now, the vows they have chosen were developed by an esteemed poet and one of the great writers of our time, a man who has captured the minds of you all and taught all that you know about love, life, relationship, who's, whosville, cat, hats, mats, and never forgetting the most important literary story, Green Eggs and Ham. Peter, will you answer me right now these questions as your wedding vow?
Yes, I will answer you right now your questions as my wedding vow.
Will you take her as your wife? Will you love her all your life?
Yes, I'll take her as my wife. Yes, I'll love her all my life.
Will you have and also hold just as you have at this time told?
Yes, I will have, and yes, I will hold, just as I have at this time told. Yes, I will love her all my life, as I now take her as my wife.
Will you love through good and bad, whether you're happy or sad?
Yes, I'll love through good and bad, whether we're happy or sad. Yes, I will have and I will hold, just as I have already told. Yes, I will love her all my life. Yes, I will take her as my wife.
Excuse me, if I may, to interrupt this fond foray. I have some things I wish to say, so can you direct yourself this way?
Of course I can. I am sorry, this day is yours. I have no quarry. So here is a question I will ask you now. Will you answer this question as your wedding vow? Will you love him if you're rich or if you're poor and in a ditch?
Oh, yes, I'll love him if we're rich, and I'll love him in a ditch. I will love him through good times and bad, whether we are happy or sad. Yes, I will have and I will hold. I could have sworn this has been told. I promise to love him with all my heart, but let's not put the horse before the cart.
Will you love him when you're fit and also when you're feeling sick?
Oh yes, I'll love him when we're fit and when we're hurt and when we're sick, and I will love him when we're rich, and I will love him in a ditch. And I will love him through good and bad, and I will love when glad or sad, and I will have and I will hold 10 years from now 1,000-fold. Yes, I will love for all my life this lovely man, my trouble and strife.
To you I return my questions asked. Will you love with all your heart? Will you love till death you part?
Yes, I will love with all my heart, from now until death do us part. And I will love her when we're rich, and when we're broke and in a ditch. And when we're fit, and when we're sick.
Oh, can't we get this finished quick?
And I will love through good and bad, and I will love when glad or sad, and I will have and I will hold. And if I might now be so bold, I'll love her my entire life. Yes, I will take her as my wife.
Then, if you'll take her as your wife, and if you'll love her all your life, and if you'll take him as your man and love him forever in this land, and if you have and if you hold from now until the stars grow cold, and if you love through good and bad, and whether you're happy or sad, and love in sickness and in health, and when you're poor and when in wealth, and if you love with all your heart from now until death you part, yes, if you love her through and through, please answer with these words.
I do.
Imogen and Peter will now exchange rings as a symbol of their love and commitment to each other. I ask Olivia and Tristan to please present the rings.
Tristan, will you take it up to Mum and Dad?
Get the ring, mate. Get the ring. Pick it up, ring. That's for Mum. Well done.
Would you like to hold the box? You go stick it in. It won't be long.
Peter, as you give Imogen this ring, I ask you to repeat.
I call upon the people,
I call upon the people
be present to witness,
here present to witness
that I, Peter,
that I, Peter,
take you, Imogen,
take you, Imogen,
to be my lawful wedded wife.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
Please place the ring on her finger.
So I have to move my arm.
Imogen, as you give Peter this ring, I ask you to repeat.
Last ring.
I call upon the people
Be present to witness,
here present to witness
that I, Imogen,
that I, Imogen, take you, Peter, to be my lawful wedded husband.
Sweaty hands.
You're married now, so kiss the bride, but please do keep it dignified. We will now sign the register. I ask their two chosen witnesses, Peter's sister Megan and the couple's friend Bruce, to please come forward. This will just take a few moments.
We have!
That was Tristan. We married each other.
Not that I can sneak very well.
You're not a sneaky kind, Bruce. Got your son doing
Why did he come in with the broom? What was he doing?
I was so busy trying to hold on to Georgie and manage them. But I just...
Any other special tricks you want him to bring you out?
Oh, for the love of God!
Look at stop.
Good job. Can I tie up your dress, George? I'll get in the right.
No way.
What's happening here with the children? Lucas, why are you crying?
Like a little bowl.
What are you crying for, Lucas? What's up?
Just gonna get his beautiful. Beautiful.
That's alright, carry on. I'll say that for these two. What happened with the brush there, Callum?